Now is a better time than ever to learn how to become a singer at home, and I have 5 tips for how you can do that. So before we get started, my name is Hannah Minner. I am a voice coach and I am also an opera singer. So if you're interested in learning more about my services, check out the description box below. Number one is to utilize all of the free technology that you can use, like YouTube or any apps on your phone. So YouTube is so great because now if you want to sing something, you don't even have to worry about singing a cappella and worrying about if you're in tune or not. You can just type in YouTube whatever song you want to sing and then type in karaoke. So for example, if you want to sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, you could type in Somewhere Over the Rainbow karaoke in YouTube, and then you can sing with it. If you have a higher voice, you could type in high key or you could type in soprano. If there's a song that's written for a male and you're a female, you could type in female key with that. And usually, especially if it's a popular song, you'll be able to find it. Not necessarily if it's if it's something that just came out like recently, but if it's been out for like a while, you will also usually be able to see like multiple different keys. If you can't find it with karaoke, you can also type in accompaniment. So Somewhere Over the Rainbow accompaniment, and you can find that background as well. If you want a certain type of instrument, you could type in piano or guitar or whatever it is that you're looking for. There's so many things that we can use that are just free. There's apps on your phone that you can use. There are practice apps as well. There's one called Andante that you can use that will also help you stay accountable. So just check all of those free things out and just start doing it. My second tip is to learn the basics of music reading. I'm going to start putting out some content about how to read music soon in a fast way. A little bit about myself. I was an older beginner when it came to learning actually how to read music. Like, I went to school for vocal music education, not knowing how to read music. I learned it while I was in college. So there were some things that growing up, like we didn't always have a music teacher and I didn't really know like what I needed to know. So I figured out a way to teach others how to learn music quickly for people who are older beginners. And that I think is something that's super helpful. Again, you can find a lot of this stuff on YouTube or on Google if reading about it is helpful for you. But why this is important is because if you don't know what your range is, you will waste a lot of time singing songs that are not in your range. So, for example, if you're a higher voice and you keep choosing songs that are suited to a lower voice more, you're going to always be frustrated and wonder why you can't hit the notes. But if you know, like, okay, I can sing middle C to the C above that, I'm going to find songs that are within that. You could just Google that. You could type in the song and then what is the range and see if you fit that. And there you go. You know that you should be able to do it. So things like that. A bonus is to be able to play the piano or to just know a little bit, basics of it. That will help you get your starting pitch. That will help you to warm up a little bit as well on your own. My third tip, and I believe the most important tip, something to do to be a singer at home, is to get a virtual voice coach. I cannot stress enough how important it is to invest in someone, simply because what you think you hear when you sing is different than what the audience hears. And if you don't have someone telling you what is going on while you're doing it real time, when you're practicing, it's very hard. I've had instances like with my own teachers who I go to where I will, maybe I won't be able to see them for like a month. And I will be trying to fix something and like something is just a constant problem and I can't figure out why it's happening. I'm doing all the things to try to figure it out. And then I see the teacher and they figure it out in like 30 seconds. They'll be like, okay, do this. And then I just go and it's fixed. The problem's gone. And it's like, how did they do that? And it's simply because they're listening to you from a more detached perspective. And you're also more free because you put all that on them and they're able to just do it for you. It's really awesome. So if you can, the best investment is to be able to invest in a teacher for yourself because they will help you make progress so much faster than any of these other tips. That's why I don't necessarily when I said look up YouTube, I wouldn't necessarily do like a singing program or they do the warm-ups with them. Like, do that to experiment, yes, but don't just rely on one single warm-up, because you don't want to just always have the same muscle memory with everything. You have to always change it up, and it's hard to know that if you're not going to someone. And my last two are self-reflection ones. So my fourth tip, if you want to learn how to become a singer at home, is to record your own singing voice. Like I was saying before, we sound different to ourselves than what other people hear of us. So when you do a recording, this really helps you to learn what your voice sounds like and how you come across to others. So you can do this with voice memos. You can do this with like little external microphones that you get. It's just a little bit more steps to be able to hear that. You could just record yourself with the video. And also, just a side note, you learn so much even just with talking. Like back in 2020, I made another YouTube channel where I was just talking about things that I enjoyed. And I learned so much about myself just from my talking, how I come across to people, and how many times I say or and here I am saying and again. But it helps you to see like, okay, this is what I do. Do I like that I do that? And if I don't like that, how can I fix that? It helps your social interactions through every day as well. So it's the same thing with singing. You hear it. Do you like that sound? How can we fix that if you don't? And then just keep doing it again. This is a great reflection process, which brings us to the fifth tip, is to keep a journal. This helps you stay more accountable to yourself. This helps you to write down your goals. If you're really serious about this, you should be spending, I know people get so busy throughout the week, but you should be spending at least 3 times a week on your own practice that you're dedicating to yourself. You deserve that time for yourself. And in your journal, write down what your goals are. What are your warm-ups? What are you doing for your song that you're singing? What are the hard parts of it? If you're seeing a voice instructor, then write that down so that you can ask them questions later. So those are my 5 tips for how you can become a singer at home. I would love to hear from you in the comments what you are already doing to become a singer at home yourself in the comments. And again, as I said before, if you want to check out my description box, I have information on the services I offer. I also do virtual teaching for some students. So if you're interested, check that out and have a great time.